What's up, guys? It's time for another fan video. The cats heard that there would be a furry mice and got very excited, but in fact it is a Murray Feiss. So we have here a new in the box, courtesy of eBay, Murray Feiss footprint vent fan from 1983. So this is the second Murray Feiss footprint vent fan that I've got new in the box with the same identical packaging. The other one is the Hugger version, and it is antique white. This fan approved by the American Fan Retail Association. I wonder what you had to do to get that approval. All right, so we've got this Murray Feiss. The data on the end of the box shows that it's model AF1, called the Island, apparently. And we have the 4-blade with cane, not Stensile. No schoolhouse light kit. We might add a light kit to this fan. So you notice that they offered this in a 48-inch size. That's a little unusual to have 4 sizes. Most manufacturers did 36, 42, 52. So we've got the fan itself here. It's very nice, actually. So Murray Feiss went through a few manufacturers over the years, and this is one of their earlier ones. This is quite heavy. This weighs the same as a Casablanca. It's not the same quality, of course. This is a spinner motor, but as spinner motor fans go, this is like nothing you can get today. We have a very nice, this is the same style switch housing and cap that Casablancas use, meaning that we can add a Casablanca ring style light kit that sandwiches between the switch cap and the switch housing. And since I have some of those in antique brass, I think that's what I might add to this fan. We've got our 3-speed pull chain right here. Still got the, of course, the original shipping blocks on it. This is really nice, 3-piece construction, solid sideband. Here's our data tag. It's from 1983, serial number 2003. So the fan itself says Murray Feiss, and that's, of course, for the... It's on a purchase order sticker on the bottom of the box, but it's nowhere else. So, you know, they just made this fan for whoever. And, because the other one that I got, the Hugger version that's white, same fan on the clouds, blue box, Fan Retail Association approval seal, but they photoshopped Panoramic Breeze up top there as the brand name. I think that the Taiwanese just sold these to whoever wanted to buy them, really. So we're going to go ahead and put this fan together. We got the blades here. They're actually very nice. They're real wood. They're generously thick. But yeah, they're, I'm actually pretty happy with these as oak blades go. So we've got plain on one side, cane on the other. I will certainly be doing the cane version. We got the 4 blade irons here, the tassel, love tassels, mounting bracket screws, and a little touch I love. It comes with both a 2.5-inch and a 6-inch down rod. That was very common back in the day. In fact, up through the mid to maybe late 1990s, I think all Hampton Bay fans came that way with 2 down rods, a 6-inch and a 2.5. So since I've got 9-foot ceilings here, we're going to rock with this longer down rod, get a little more airflow out of this fan. So we're going to go ahead and put this over here in place of this delta. It's time for the delta to come down. It's been here for a while. I'm going to take the cane blades off the delta and put them onto this 4 Seasons over here. The stencil's nice, but it's time for a change. Been there for a while. I also have a 4-arm light kit coming for this fan, so there'll be a video coming on that soon. We'll get to see this with a 5-light kit, because we're going to add that to the current light here, and then with the cane blades. But for this evening, yeah, we're going to go ahead and pull down this Zephyr or Delta, whatever the hell it is, and get some furry mice going. What do you kiddies think of furry mice? You're looking in the box for that furry mice. Let me know if you find it, Bomber. Alright, back shortly. Alright, so it's later in the video now, tomorrow in real life, and I've got the Murray Feiss installed in the living room, and the cane blades that were previously on the Zephyr there have been moved to this 4 Seasons. Now, quick interesting note. You'll notice that these blades are mounted on the bottom side of the blade irons, Emerson style. And I was forced to do that because the blades would not fit any other way. And I actually really like this look. This looks great on this particular fan. But it was an interesting quirk. You would have to shave off, essentially, about 1/8 of an inch of wood from this entire arc here to make the blade fit the blade iron. The issue is that these stubby irons that have no arm length to them, when you take the blade and put it in and you slide it all the way to the front till it hits this metal and stops right there, okay? Slide it till it stops. The holes are not lined up, okay? You're not going to really be able to tell that from the video. You just have to take my word for it. But you would have to either cut some wood off of this to allow the blade to slide in further along the blade iron, or you would have to just drill new holes. They're far enough off that you can't even stretch the screws. You would have to drill 3 entirely new holes, which I wasn't willing to do. So I went with the easy, quick solution of mounting them on the bottom side like an Emerson, and I love the look on this fan. It actually has made me like the Four Seasons more than I did before. So we'll see when we add the 4-light kit this week right here. It's in the mail, how that changes this fan. And now on to the star of today's show, the Murray Feiss. So this is installed here with the longer down rod, and I did add a schoolhouse light kit to it. The light kit itself is actually a brown Hunter light kit. It's identical to the one that's on that fan. The globe, I have no clue where the globe's from. So those are not original to this. They're not Murray Feiss, but everything else is. So let's take a look at this fan, yeah. Take an all-angles look at it, and then we'll do the speeds test. So you can see with the light shining from the right angle that these are genuine wood blades, but they do still manage to look really cheap and shitty. The whole fan does. It's about a 12 or 13 degree blade pitch. The blades actually look better on the not cane side. They somehow look less cheap, so I may flip them over. Not a big air mover. Let's do a 0 to high spin up. So the air movement underneath it is about the same as that 36-inch original right there. So for a 52-inch fan, it's pretty disappointing. It's nothing like the Casablanca Zephyr that was here yesterday, or earlier in the video. It just does not move as much air. It's going to be hard for y'all to tell with the video. My eyeball guesstimate is around 195 to 210 RPM. I'll give it that range. It's for the high speed. So let's go ahead and do medium now. I'm going to just talk about this particular style of fan a little bit while we watch it go through its paces. So this footprint vent style of fan was very popular for a period in the 80s and early to mid-90s. Murray Feiss, Litex, and Concord, which is the same company, they were the main sellers of this style, although there were other companies that made it. They probably all came from the same 1 or 2 factories in Taiwan, ultimately, but this style never got as popular as the GE vent. It's sort of like a reverse GE vent in a way, but for a period of time, at least in my area of the country, this was the second most common style after GE vent. You saw these everywhere. Different finishes, too. I remember seeing these in white and brass. This particular exact style right here, antique brass with 4-cane blades and the yellowy green tassel. This particular Murray Feiss one, it's a shoe store in Mahwah, New Jersey, where I grew up, that had 5 or 6 of these installed throughout it. It's just a basic shoe store in a strip mall. May even still be there, may still have the fans, but they were never on. I was always trying to stand on like those shoe fitting things you're supposed to sit on to try the shoes. I was always trying to stand on them to reach the tassels and turn them on. I was probably like 5 or 6 years old. I also remember a florist that had one of these. It had a really, really long pull chain on it. I mean, long enough that as a little kid I could turn the fan on, which I loved. So that's medium. Let's go ahead and give it one more click down to low. This is a 3-speed fan. So I'm of two minds about this fan. On one hand, it is definitely heavier, higher quality, better than what you can buy new today in 2021 at Walmart, Lowe's, or Home Depot. But having said that, the whole fan, by my standards, as someone who has a house full of Hunters and Casablancas, this looks and feels cheap in every possible way. It's chintzy, it's tacky. Personally, I'm not going to keep it here for more than a few weeks before I replace it with something else. It doesn't matter that it's childhood. I mean, when I was a kid, all cars are cars. As an adult, I've learned to appreciate a Lamborghini more than a Kia. And in the same way that fans were fans and all fans were cool when I was 5 years old, as an adult, I see the benefit now of that Casablanca and its construction quality over this. So there's low. Low is about 60, 65 RPMs on this, which is very common for spinner motor 3-speed fans. You almost never get an aesthetic low on those. And this fan would be a good candidate for an aesthetic low. So you'd either have to convert to 4-speed or use a wall control or something if you wanted that. So there's 2 capacitors inside the switch housing. One is the same big round gray wax-filled Seiko capacitor that comes in Moss Caribbean Breezes. And the other is a standard black rectangular polyester ceiling fan capacitor like everybody would recognize. Okay, so now let's do the spin down. So we'll take it back up to high. I remember friends having these when I was a kid. These were everywhere. Now you notice it does have a bit of a wobble. This fan, it has one bent blade straight out of the factory. Okay, now that's back up on high. Let's do the spin down. I do like the feel of the pull chain. It is smoother and a lighter touch than modern 3-speed pull chains. They've gotten very tough to pull. The ones that Zinnier makes now are garbage. The problem is they have no competition. They've essentially merged all those pull chain companies into one. So, Shine Top, they're gone. Welltech is gone. All the other companies that used to make pull chain switches have been absorbed, and it's just Zinnier now, and they are making just the cheapest switches that they possibly can get away with making. So I said I was of two minds about this fan, and yeah, while on one hand it's better than what you can buy today, that's not saying much. It's just the lesser of two evils, but it's still evil, because that's a real ceiling fan. That's a real ceiling fan. Hiding around the corner here, that's a real ceiling fan. This is a cheap knockoff trailer trash piece of crap for poor people that can't afford real fans. This thing is very much like in the beginning of that Casablanca video that Dan uploaded recently. where the husband bought his wife, I think, a Moss WF series and installed it, and the thing's just a cheap piece of crap with a wobble, even though it's brand new. And she's looking at this thing, she says, "Honey, I know you tried to do something nice, but this just ain't gonna get it." And that's exactly how I feel about this. It's tacky looking. It has a wobble straight out of the factory. There's nothing on this that isn't somehow cheaper and inferior than a Casablanca Hunter or Emerson. Every part of this fan, from the canopy to the downrod to the motor to the blades to the controls to the housing, the blade irons, the performance, every metric, everything about this fan is inferior to a Casablanca of the same vintage, 1983. Let's go ahead and reverse the fan now, and we'll do the same test in reverse. You can see it go the other way. Alright, and spin up to high in reverse. Whoa, seems kind of slow, doesn't it? That's interesting. Spun up to high going forward quite a bit faster. This is the first time I put this fan in reverse. I didn't do it yesterday. By the time I got the fan installed last night, it was dark. The sun had gone down, and the lighting wasn't good enough for you to see this fan, so... But this is interesting. This has only seemed to be getting up to about a medium speed in reverse. I wonder what's up with that. So it seems to be slowly gaining speed. Maybe it's still spinning up, but it shouldn't be. There's no reason that it shouldn't have gone 0 to max. Yeah, it seems to be no longer gaining speed, and this is very much medium. This is not high. I'm curious what's going on here. Let's give the pull chain another whack and see what happens. So this is theoretically medium. So yeah, sadly this is better than what you can buy today, but let's be clear, it's still a cheap Taiwanese piece of crap. Look at that little skinny half-inch down rod. Jesus, they don't even make half-inch down rods anymore. So it's on medium, and this looks more like low, which makes me wonder, if I put it on low, do I get an aesthetic low now? Does putting this fan in reverse just knock 40 RPMs off of each speed? Because that would put me at about a 20 RPM low, and I would love it. So this is theoretically low. Let's let it spin down and see what happens. This is really interesting. So, no, it does appear that low in reverse is roughly the same speed as low forward, unfortunately. Seems to have only affected high and medium. Just my luck. Alright. Well, I have a thought. Let's take it back up to high. Notice how sluggish it is to gain speed. Yeah, it just doesn't really want to do much. Let's go ahead and flip the reverse switch with it on high and just see what happens. Maybe the thing goes pop and explodes. Who knows? But I'm curious why it seems to have more startup torque going one way than the other. So we've hit the switch. You notice it's spinning down pretty quickly. Much more aggressive spin up. Look at this. Yeah, so there's something wrong with reverse on this fan. That's quite odd. You'll have to comment below if you know what's going on here. What could possibly cause that? Now, I don't personally know a lot about how motors work from an engineering perspective. But my understanding is that with these type of permanent split capacitor motors, when you reverse it, you're not using an alternate winding. You're just using the same windings configured in the opposite order. So it should be capable of the same torque and speed in either direction. Unlike, say, a Hunter Original, well, no, I shouldn't say that because those are permanent split capacitor too. I don't think they ever had a shaded pull reversible version of that fan. This is just so odd. Alright, let's do that again. Set it back in reverse. It's much more leisurely about slowing down because it just doesn't have as much torque. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure why this is. Please leave a comment below if you know. This is quite a pathetic high speed. I don't even think it's fast enough to where, well, maybe just barely, to where you can't see it in the camera anymore. The wagon wheel effect. In any case, let's do a spin down from this bullshit high to off in reverse. I gotta be honest and say, this fan's probably gonna only last a couple of weeks here. I have a brand new in the box Casablanca 4-speed Panama with the XLP 2000 motor, and I think that's gonna go here. That's a pretty rare combination. Typically the 4-speed fans, which came out in the mid to late 2000s, those came with the XTR skeletal motor. So to get that combination of 4-speed pull chain and the K55 type motor is pretty awesome. We got that new in the box. I think that's going to be the next fan to go here. The fan has stopped now. And that's what it looks like from up top. So just curious what low and reverse spin up. I swear it has more torque on low than it does on medium. It's like it got an extra burst of torque on that third. That's so odd. So there's low. There's medium. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it, is running on medium and reverse. For now. For now.